Trade winds are blowing. Windhorse and Shams speculating that the Pelicans can trade Zion, move up in the draft, and grab Scoot Henderson. Brew, is this a good or a bad idea?
Well, you have to address it from both sides. So if I'm New Orleans, I'm not doing it. All right?
Okay.
This guy's only, 23? He'll be 23 or 20?
He'll be 23.
He'll be 23 shortly, next month. I'm not yet giving up on him. Because if he goes elsewhere and is awesome, then you got egg on your face. I don't think Scoot, as good as he may be, has more potential than Zion Williamson. And Nick, if they are willing to trade him, in my opinion, this is not a report, I feel like it says that they're questioning his mentality. Not so as much his physical ability or even his ability to stay healthy, but they're questioning, does this guy really love basketball? We remember, and I know David Griffin defended him, but he came out last year before the playoffs and was like, I'm good. Physically, I'm fine. I'm just not Zion. I'm not going out till I'm Zion. What does that even mean? If you're physically fine, go out and play. We saw a number of guys play in the playoffs that had injuries and were banged up. And so if they trade him, Nick, I think it means they just think he don't love the game. He's not going to work hard enough to stay healthy. If I'm Jordan in Charlotte, then I want him.
Well, yeah.
I'm only doing the trade for him, not Brandon Ingram.
There's no chance. Now, it's Michael Jordan's management, so he could do something crazy. But it's just facts, guys. I'm a facts guy. You guys can be feelings guys.
He
hasn't had a great stewardship.
He hasn't been Jerry West.
No, he has not. I'm looking at this purely from New Orleans' perspective. You can't do it. And I love Scoot. And I think Scoot next year might have more instant impact than Wemby does. I'm not just because I think he will be NBA ready with that NBA body and play a lot more. So I love Scoot.
There's been very few that age to come in.
True. And so I'm saying my point is this is not about being like, the draft pick's not good enough. It's about what Zion has shown us, which is he is for his career 26 a night on 60%. Context for that. No one else is 15 a night on 60% in NBA history. He's 26 a night. As far as best seasons, we can show this. The most points on the best, most efficient scoring. Most points per game on 60%. It's Zion's last 2 years. That's who he is. Now, the health concerns, obviously. The growing, I don't even think it's fair to call them off-court concerns, but call it off-court distractions and things he has to deal with. All of that is a real thing that I don't think can be just dismissed. But he has been, when he's been on the court, the exact guy, Wildes, that you hoped he would be. Right. The game has translated perfectly.
All right, so I think if we have Hubs, the Zion's availability, how many games he's played, how many games he's missed full screen.
It's not good.
So with that in the background, Brew, looking at it from Zion's perspective, I think he would benefit from a fresh start, both mentally, physically, and let's call it the relationships. Mentally, he's talked about the challenges that he's had. Yep. Physically, he hasn't been able to get right. And again, those things aren't just siloed. I think those things can kind of mend into each other. And the relationships, I know you're talking about, we're not going to dive too much into it, but it feels like those relationships are unhealthy,
toxic
at best.
Yeah.
And if a fresh start, leave New Orleans, start fresh somewhere, new management, new teammates, new environment, just like any other one of your buddies who was like 23 and like, man, this doesn't seem like it's going great for you. Maybe you should move to San Diego. All my buddies are like, I'm going to move to San Diego.
Yeah. And where is he from? He's from North Carolina. That doesn't always work out. You go back home. But I agree with that.
From South Carolina, right? Am I wrong? He's from the area.
He's born in North Carolina, but I think he may have grown up in South Carolina. But, yeah, the area, the Carolinas. I tend to agree. The relationship stuff, look, he's in the NBA. That can happen wherever he's at. But his weight is a problem. His being in shape is a problem. And New Orleans, obviously, with the food and everything, I think that's a real temptation for him. So I don't disagree with you.
I think it would be a good idea for Zion.
I just wouldn't do it if I'm New Orleans.
I wouldn't. Listen, for Zion, I don't know if Charlotte, and this is not a shot at Jordan, it's been a bottom 3 franchise for 20 years in the league. They've had one moment.
Good team all of a sudden.
So
if him and LaMelo I'm not saying they're about to take the league by storm, but that's a nice core. Nice core.
It can be the best thing for him to move on, and not the best thing for New Orleans to send him off. To hope.
No, I agree. I wouldn't do it if I'm New Orleans. I want to do it if I'm Charlotte.
Yeah.
I also like to end it. Zion's a Jordan guy.
Yes,
I always like when Jordan guys go play for Jordan.
Well, you would hope he'd respect Jordan enough to listen and grow.
Thanks for watching. Subscribe here to get more from the show and to check out clips from other shows on FS1.